The following Pulppourri podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulppourri Politicscast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the political headlines that intrigue us and all those little jerks that enrage us.
Let's go. Okay, so we had another very historic couple of days.
Yes. This time we got Hillary Clinton coming out of the woodwork to put it into context of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And not being like, I told you so, but going
just like, and I trust me, I'm not a Hillary Clinton fan. She grilled my father in one of those hearings back in the day.
Ooh,
yeah.
One day I want to hear about that.
We should probably find the video of it.
Oh, I bet we can.
Oh, I know we can. I just haven't pulled it up yet, ever. I mean, he's got his own Wikipedia page and a report named after him. So,
I've seen the Wikipedia page.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
That's a little backstory.
And look at you now.
Look where I ended up, right? Hey, top of the world, Dad. So...
Come get your boy.
Fourth. And this one's bad.
I believe the term is they threw the book at him.
So...
I mean, it's like conspiracy, heading a conspiracy.
Like, this indictment reads like...
This is like a Rudy Giuliani mob indictment.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Except Rudy Giuliani is on the other side. No.
This is Two-Face in Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
When him and Gyllenhaal, female, were like, we could charge one of them, we could charge them all. And that's exactly what they fucking did. And they have smoking guns is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the news is reporting is that, I mean, and all this comes from the January 6th investigation. They have the text messages, they have...
Text messages, phone recordings, emails.
I mean...
A lot of it was publicly known. Like, they weren't shy about it. They were on TV they're still on fucking TV.
I was going to say, yeah, like, Donald Trump's worst enemy should be Martin Scorsese, because Martin Scorsese has put all this in countless movies.
Oh, yeah.
So we all know how, A, it was done, and B, how it plays out.
So one of my questions was going to be, how long before we get the movie? And I'm assuming Scorsese has to do it, right? Who did JFK?
Oliver Stone.
He might be up his alley.
What if they did a joint?
What if all three of them? What if
two-parter?
Spielberg...
Well, let's throw Spike Lee in on that, because Malcolm X was good, too.
Fuck it. All four of them need to go in a room, right? And I need them to hammer out a
mini-series. Yeah.
A mini-series is what it'll need to be. With Paul Giamatti.
Sorry, limited series.
With Paul Giamatti in it. And I need that I'm going to need that by 2030.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they got to end the strike first, but then, once
I'm
that's
hoping that happens before 2030.
Yeah.
But the way the execs they're basically going, fuck you. You're not making any money.
Well, they got AI now, so.
Yeah, I mean, they can have douchebags right there. So you know what? Now I can write a script and be like, fuck all you, watch this. And I can give it to a studio and they can AI it together.
Well, we'll get to that at a later date.
Okay. So fourth indictment with 18 co-conspirators.
Yeah.
But there were over...
That's like where he has like 6 on the federal indictment, right?
He's up to 91 total. 91. I was hoping...
No, I meant like the Jack Smith indictment. There's like 6 co-conspirators, and Georgia's like, we're not leaving anybody out.
So the Mar-a-Lago one. Yeah, they just keep adding people to it.
Yeah, because he fucking pulled in all the fucking staff on that one. Like,
right.
That's fucking bullshit.
Like, I was hoping Lindsey Graham's name was going to end up on that list.
No.
Ted Cruz.
The Grand Madam of South Carolina is too slick for that to be involved. I just was trying to tell him was right from wrong.
It was my free speech. Ted Cruz comes out here and I'm pissed. I am pissed. Well,
but of course he is, because he's. Well, I'm not going to get into my conspiracy theory.
No. So here's the thing.
And yes, Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley should be worried at some point.
So should Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes.
But
and Tommy Tuberville, fucking waste.
That guy's on a completely other. He's just stupid. He hasn't broken the law.
But yeah, he's the Fredo of this whole.
Correct. Trump should give him a kiss, and they should take him fishing. Or no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Trump should give him a kiss, and they should take him golfing.
Yeah.
And on the 6th hole.
Or be like, hey, you got hired back at Auburn, buddy. Oh, really?
And then, 86.
And let Gus Malzahn shoot him in the back.
Yeah. Only if he walks into a room covered in plastic and goes, what the? And gets his brains blown out. God rest your soul. Sorry. You got to get a Goodfellas. If we're talking gangsters.
Yeah. I made it in the books.
Yeah, Ma, look, I got it. No, you didn't. Your brains are all over that plastic wrap.
Yeah.
Fucking poor Joe Pesci. Okay. Question. I wrote this down. How long before there is a legit assassination attempt on any one of these DAs or prosecutors, Jack Smith included? Because I hear that the prosecutors in Georgia already are having security details walk them to get a snack.
When you had the dude out in Utah, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not going after Jack Smith and them, but was clearly influenced by this rhetoric before Biden showed up there to start making threats and doing stupid shit.
They had the kidnapping attempt of, what was her name? Was that Michigan?
Oh, yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. They had a dude walking around Obama's supposed neighborhood with weapons. How long before someone tries to take a shot at any one of these people? Because I don't want this to happen. I hope to God it doesn't. It's going to happen.
No,
there will be a gunfight somewhere.
I would assume. Well, it falls under the purview of either the FBI or the Secret Service. And
I think if you put an attempt on a elected official, that's
Secret Service gets involved,
right?
And
even at the state level,
I would think Jack Smith, because he is part of the Justice Department, there's an FBI detail on him as well,
right?
So,
I mean, they've ramped up security, but these are just. I don't want to just hammer Trump bad, Republican bad. I want to look at the whole fucking picture here. I think what we're
saying is, if you want to get into federal law enforcement, now's the time, because they're going to need the people.
Yes, yes. If you graduated high in your criminal justice, not social justice.
If you've not committed a crime, or your family members have not committed a crime,
and you've taken some
enlist
paralegal classes,
and you're impartial. That's the other important part.
But how do you prove that? That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
That's sure, but not
in the digital age we live in. This
I think it's a valid question now, because now we have indictments in Georgia and outside of the Fulton County area.
You strip away, look at the history of the state of fucking Georgia.
Yeah.
Look at the history.
There's a district that elected Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Correct.
So, again, like you said, I hope not.
Me too.
To be honest, we haven't had an assassination attempt, at least on a high level, since Reagan.
Reagan's the last one.
But then there was there's the crazy dude who shot up the baseball practice that Steve Scalise got involved in.
I'm gonna hold my comments on that.
That wasn't fair to the dude. No matter what you feel, and that guy, unfortunately, was liberal. So,
Well, there was also the guy who ran his car through the barricade at the White House.
Yes, yeah.
That was during Obama, right?
Yes.
So these things are just slowly escalating. Clearly, yeah. We haven't mentioned January 6th yet, but it could get ugly.
Well, I mean, I will repeat what I said last week. This has happened before, and will happen again.
Yeah, no,
as Battlestar and Peter Pan predicted.
Lost said the same thing.
Same as the conservatives say about global warming. It's secular. It happens in cycles.
Doesn't everything? That's why Lost, they wanted to call it the circle at first.
Right, yeah.
Because, it's... wait, here we go. Time's a flat circle.
Yeah. The world is flat, too, apparently.
But not the moon.
But, no, of course not. Not Mars or Venus or Saturn or anything like that.
Man, we live on this globe that's flat. What? The fuck did you just say?
But, or either way, I think... I don't know, maybe this podcast is all about the coming Civil War.
Doomsday?
No, but...
I mean, we got people on Twitter literally saying that. Like, it's going to take fighting.
No, I honestly, I don't think, but I am curious as to what is going to be the breaking point.
Exactly. That's the question.
Whether, and I will go middle of the road on this, that either gets one side or the other or both sides to go, okay, we have to stop digging trenches and we have to find middle ground.
And the way it stands right now, Democrats say they are, but they're more on what, in football terms, they're on the back foot, just because they're...
In some places, yes.
Right, they would just play... they would play Antonio Conte football, where they play defensive and just, like, pragmatic. We're just going to...
Or do your boys circular around and around?
No, we're not going to do Allegri circle. But right, that's what nobody really has come out other than say this is a sad day for America. We can't believe that a former president has been indicted, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the standard line at this point.
And I'll say this, and this goes for both sides, is that everybody has to put away this dream right now of some magical third party coming in.
No, it's not going to happen ever.
Because
we've tried that throughout history, right?
Well, yeah, but as of right now, nobody's willing to commit the money.
Or
to a grassroots organization, because that's how political parties are formed, is at the state level.
Right.
And not starting top down, but...
Or eating into or cannibalizing one of the other two parties. Because then you're...
And that's happened. I mean, that's happened plenty of times, but they usually flame out, and it's usually within 10, 20 years or something like that.
Ross Perot?
Yeah.
He's the poster child. How many times that dude run?
I mean, I'm teaching it right now about the first populist music movement, and like William Jennings Bryan, who was a populist politician, but he was the Democrats nominated him. So, it's this thing of...
I don't know if there's anybody to do that. Buttigieg?
Well, the thing is honestly speaking, is we're either headed towards one of two things, because that's what usually creates monumental... Both are conflicts.
Yeah, of course, that's what I was about to say.
But we're either looking at an internal conflict, or the last thing that stopped everything from truly bubbling over was World War II.
Correct.
And so...
But then you even have the Red Scare during that and after that, too. But
but it calmed down. But like we were talking about in Oppenheimer, when we were having our Oppenheimer conversation.
Yeah, you've done that. You know what? You took my fumbling over words. All right, you got 9 seconds. So what we're saying is...
We have been making some changes here at Pulppourri. We've shortened our episodes to 30 minutes so you can catch everything we say on the drive home, on a lunch break, or at any other time. We've added video to our repertoire, and we are expanding our social media presence. So check us out on YouTube and smash that subscribe button and use the likes. You can get our socials from the link in our bio and be on the lookout for our new Politicscast. If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
So, big win on climate change.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but when I read the verbiage.
And out of literally the middle of nowhere.
Correct. Like
Montana saying
it's been blue forever. I mean, not blue, red.
Well, I mean, it's a live and let live state,
right?
That on one hand, it's not surprising because it's a there we go. That's all right. We'll be all right. I mean, there's a shit ton of national parks. It's a very
we were just talking
friendly.
about it, right? Like, just leave everything be. Put some paths.
But the fact that you put into verbiage that you are harming the future generations.
That's it. Like, you are infringing on my right.
And it was a state court, wasn't it, or was it a federal court?
I don't think it's got to federal yet. I think it was like the highest state supreme, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, but the verbiage that they used was, I am entitled to a healthy, free living environment.
Yeah.
Like that's what they quoted. And they fucking won.
That's very interesting. Because
those attorneys...
Like you said, if that gets up to...
If those attorneys deserve a fucking raise... Because if they can get that to the Supreme Court, like, how do you argue what's something already there, right?
Yeah.
They can kick it back to the states, but the states already said, guess what, motherfucker? You can't do it.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
Well, and you're doing that in one of the least populous states. And like you said, if that gets kicked up to the federal level... I don't assume this Supreme Court would abide by it, but you don't know.
They would punt, I think.
It can take 10 years or so, and we might have new justices on there who would be... But, I would say this,
or term limits, or maybe, an ethics board.
Well, I'm just going to say, if we were to take this current court, the wild card in that is Neil Gorsuch, who is a very pro-Native American...
Even though he is,
crazy every other way. Yeah. But that idea of if he's you would assume if he's pro-Native American that he's could be on the side of environmentalism.
You would think, because that's one of their things. It's just don't fuck with our land. I don't give a fuck who's getting profit from it. Like, this is it. They're
but that's also,
what you were just saying about the nature.
Yeah. But that also goes to part of the Constitution, which is...
And that's what they quoted.
Oh, crap. Why am I hate it. I'm blanking on the preamble, which I should not be. But,
yeah, motherfucker. But, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
they
going
quoted
into...
that. Like, I am...
Keep hitting on providing common events, but that's not what I'm talking about. Or the general welfare
that's
of the people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, you are way more elegant.
Environmental policy goes into that. Like,
I'm surprised.
You can't have dirty ass air.
I'm surprised. You know what this tells me?
And dirty ass water.
Thank you. This tells me that the attorneys there were paying more attention than the attorneys in Flint, Michigan, for example, who could be using that exact same argument, which I'm sure... You said it takes 10 years or so for all this to catch up.
Could be,
All it's going to take is them, Flint, saying, oh, right, we're entitled, per the Constitution, proper drinking water.
Yeah.
Jackson, Mississippi, although let's not hold our breath on Mississippi. We're just going to say that. I did the Donald Trump. It's the best state. I hear that it's probably the best state in history.
It's a shame because there's a lot of great things about Mississippi.
There is.
And then there's a lot of bad things.
The campgrounds there are wonderful. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that.
It's the birthplace of like 90% of music in America.
The fucking Leonard Skinnerd.
No, they were.
No.
They were Jacksonville, Florida.
But they crashed. There's a monument in Mississippi.
Was that? Is that?
It is.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Oh no, you're right because I've driven by it. Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen the sign for it now.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not to mention Robert Johnson.
Yeah. Or multitudes of blues artists.
Sorry.
And really great country music artists who came from Mississippi too.
Sorry, we could go down a complete.
Sure,
we have a music pod at that point. So yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
People don't. I mean, yes.
It's the drop. It's this small stone in the pond.
What do they call that? The not the bellwater,
but
yes,
it could have a ripple effect.
Yeah, this is
if we have the right people in place by the time it starts moving out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I said, we have more of those states who are having issues. Pennsylvania's having one.
Yeah.
With air quality
or Hawaii.
Jesus Christ. Right. Like all of these states. Fuck, Louisiana could say it. But
no, and we've been through the dry. It had like today's the
this
first time.
This is the first time it's rained in probably 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
And we're in the Caribbean, effectively. Like it should not be this way. It gets this hot. It normally rains 5 times a day.
Yeah, me and the wife were talking about that. Like you could time it to where like at 4:30, 4:15 every afternoon, you were getting a 20-minute rainstorm.
Yeah.
We digress.
That's why it's fucking hot as shit.
117. I walked 2 miles today. 117 in jeans.
But you worked through some shit.
In jeans. But it was like a hot yurt, one of those like hot yoga sessions.
But unfortunately, you weren't on peyote for it.
No, not yet.
Unlike Aaron Rodgers, so.
Yeah, I need a yurt and mushrooms. Sorry, that's the future of therapy that I do every day.
There you go.
Sticking in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Here, can we talk about these animals who tortured people? Like legit tortured people. The Goon Squad. It's like 6 of them in Mississippi that finally got convicted of effectively what would be a lynching squad nowadays.
Yes.
Like that's
so that's why I put it on the list, which was like, are we back in KK? I mean, literally, like KKK.
I brought that up in the first half. Like, are we at that point of we're out in the open and we're wearing hoods, but we're police officers?
Well, they don't have to, because I mean, like this is what.
Right. This is what.
When you go back on it, I mean that's what a lot of towns in Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia had to deal with. Louisiana, Arkansas, whatever.
Exactly. Because you've got a ton of these towns.
There were
we talked
some
about
people
it last week
who didn't have to wear hoods because they were in positions of power.
The mayor who got duly elected and they didn't let him back in the thing. Like that's the same concept.
But the part with like the Goon Squad that is really bizarre to me is they use sex toys to torture and it was their defense was they didn't want them messing with white girls, which of course goes back to KKK stuff. But it's just
it's like, there's some seriously.
It's a problem.
How do I say this delicate? They have all had something opened up in them about male genitalia. I don't know what it is that they saw.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe it was The Crying Game. That's a fucking great movie, but it is about Forrest Whitaker falling in love. But right? Because that's ultimately what it comes down to. You got people saying, I don't do this, I don't rape little girls, and then go to jail for it. You know? Or, I didn't steal all this money, embezzle it, and then go to jail for, like it's projection 101.
I'm not gay, but I like to go into black people's houses and sodomize them with a
dildo. That's exactly what just happened.
That's the one thing I don't know. Where did the sex toys come from? Did they have them with them?
Who planted that seed? Like, which one of the 6 went, you know what?
Yeah.
I can get us a black dildo.
Let's take this next level.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I saw this movie the other day, and we really should incorporate this into our ritual.
You know what we're missing, man?
A banjo. Fuck. And this is known, like it happened.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that this shit is still happening in police departments, which is...
You got these small towns. We talked about Jennings, Louisiana. And they're not just in the South. I don't want, apparently Ohio is Alabama of the North.
I mean, you got police officers in Minnesota kneeling on necks. But,
right. That's what I'm saying. So there's... But
that where it's like, my problem is that it's not like some random meth gang or something like that.
No.
These are duly appointed police officers who feel, and again, without any warrant, without any probable cause, just go into somebody's house.
He was probably like, I got a boner. Let's go in this brown person's house.
Or some girl was saying she liked this guy or whatever. And
it could be anything. It could be like their wife.
But she should a fucking fat ginger from Mississippi. And then so now I'm going to bust in this guy's house and sodomize him.
That's what I'm saying. Their wife didn't make their eggs properly.
Yeah.
Or, didn't touch them right the night before. So they're going to go beat up on somebody.
Sure.
And again, all this we are saying is just...
We're just... hypothesizing.
Correct. But they have been convicted of these things, so it's not allegedly anymore.
Right.
Fucking Christ, people are so bonkers.
Right.
Bonkers.
And on top of that is that clearly there's no clear solution to fix these bananas problems in police departments
and again,
all over the country.
They're isolated, right? And because we're in the social
we say
media
that, but is it really like...
Well, what do they say? One time, it could be a coincidence, but, happens 4 times, then guess what?
But
it becomes a habit.
We're of the generation that grew up seeing the video of Rodney King. And so are you saying it was back then it's just an LA problem?
No.
And
that happened
and then
to
there's
be the one
Eric Gardner, that's a New York problem. Then sorry.
Minnesota, George Floyd?
Yeah, George Floyd, thank you. Michael Brown outside of St. Louis.
Brianna,
which was Birmingham, we
can continue to go down this.
This is everywhere, and so I mean,
but
I
you're
could
right.
get on a tangent about, but
I'm not going to go down either the defund.
But there's clearly
training, but something needs to be done. But what sparks that?
There's clearly a problem with giving certain people power, and they clearly abuse it all the time.
Power corrupts what?
Well, no, but I'm even saying is that these are corrupted people before, and then you hand them.
Well, that's why
power.
It corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what it is. It's because again, you and I, we've.
And I'm not saying I'm absent of that. I mean,
that's where
I'm a teacher. I walk into a room, and I know on certain days, if all I have to do is raise my voice a bit, and I'm going to get exactly what I want. But
I sent a stern email. No, I'm kidding.
But it's
But yes, I mean.
Well, you have to go through apology training if you don't say hi.
Excuse me, business etiquette training. Fuck yeah. So I'm a little salty sometimes, but I'm not beating people with black dildos.
Oh, no.
I said it because that's what's happening. Cops, 6 of them, called the Goon Squad.
But I think we should. The real question is, how the fuck did that enter into the
That's
mix?
what I want to say.
Yeah. The following Pulppourri podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulppourri is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmy on social media and photography by Beck Ryder. Original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.